What if I told you that these are the worst divorces R&B icons tried to hide? From Bobby Womack, who secretly divorced Sam Cooke's widow after a shocking affair, to R. Kelly, who signed a non-disclosure agreement of his divorce, and his ex-wife received an undisclosed amount of money for alimony. Here are the worst divorces R&B icons tried to hide. Usher. Usher is one of the biggest names in R&B and pop music. From his smooth voice to his sharp dance moves, he's been a star since he was a teenager. At just 15, he released his first album, but it was his second one, My Way, in 1997, that made him a household name. Songs like Nice and Slow and You Make Me Wanna dominated the charts. Then came 8701 and the mega hit album Confessions, which sold over 20 million copies worldwide and earned a diamond certification. He continued to rise, releasing more albums and collecting awards while being praised as the king of R&B. But behind the scenes, there was more happening in his personal life, things he tried to keep quiet. In 2015, while vacationing in Cuba, Usher made a big move. He secretly married his longtime girlfriend and manager, Grace Miguel. They didn't tell anyone at first. No big wedding announcement, no headlines, just a quiet ceremony far from the spotlight. Fans only found out after Grace posted a photo on Instagram where Usher could be seen wearing a wedding ring. He later confirmed the news during an interview on the Ellen DeGeneres show. But even though they kept their wedding private, things didn't work out the way they hoped. In March 2018, Usher and Grace announced they were separating. The statement they gave to the media was calm and respectful. They said they still cared for each other and would remain close friends. It all sounded very peaceful, but the truth is, they tried to keep it under wraps for as long as they could. By December 28, 2018, Usher officially filed for divorce in Georgia. They had tried to keep both the wedding and the breakup away from the public eye, but in the end, the truth came out. Faith Evans. Faith Evans is a well-known American R&B singer, songwriter, and actress. In 1991, she moved to Los Angeles to chase her dreams of making it in the music world. At first, she sang backup for other R&B artists like Al B., Sure, and Christopher Williams. But things changed quickly. By the time she was 20, she signed with Bad Boy Records, becoming the first woman on the label. She got noticed after singing on the Notorious B.I.G.'s hit One More Chance, and in 1995, she released her own debut album called Faith. In 1997, she made history again. Along with Puff Daddy and 112, she sang on I'll Be Missing You, a tribute to Biggie after his death. The song became a global hit and even won a Grammy. She followed it up with more successful albums like Keep the Faith and Faithfully, earning praise from fans and critics alike. While her music was in the spotlight, her personal life was mostly kept private, especially her marriage. Faith was married to Todd Rusaw, a record executive and also her manager. The couple got married in 1997 and had 2 kids together. For a long time, they seemed like a solid team, working and raising a family side by side. But behind closed doors, things weren't so smooth. It turned out that Faith and Todd had actually been separated since 2005, but no one knew. They kept it quiet for years. Then in 2011, out of the blue, Faith filed for divorce in Los Angeles. Around that time, both she and Todd had agreed to spend 13 weeks in a substance treatment program after being involved in a substance possession case. When news of the divorce finally came out in May 2011, the couple made a statement asking for privacy. They said they wanted to keep things peaceful and quiet for the sake of their children. Brian Kelly McKnight and Julie McKnight. Brian McKnight is a well-known American singer, songwriter, actor, and producer. He's also a multi-instrumentalist with a smooth voice that made him a favorite in R&B music. His first big break came in 1993 with the song Love Is, a duet with Vanessa Williams for the Beverly Hills 90210 soundtrack. The song was a hit, reaching number 3 on the Billboard charts. That same year, his single One Last Cry also became a fan favorite, helping his debut album go platinum. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Brian was everywhere. Songs like You Should Be Mine and Back at One climbed the charts and became slow jam staple. His albums kept doing well, debuting in the top 10 again and again. But while his music was in the spotlight, his personal life was mostly kept private, especially his marriage. Brian McKnight met singer-songwriter Julie McKnight in college, and they got married in 1993. Together, they had 2 sons, Brian Jr. and Nico. They seemed like a happy family, at least from the outside. But by 2003, the couple quietly separated. There was no drama in the news, no interviews or headlines. The divorce flew under the radar for years, but what had once been silent slowly came back to light, and not in a good way. In April 2023, fans noticed something strange. Brian's Instagram bio didn't mention any of his biological children. Instead, he only listed the names of his stepchildren from his new marriage. People started asking questions and accused him of ignoring the children from his first marriage. Over time, Brian began speaking more openly about his adult children, but not in a kind way. He started saying hurtful things about them online, even calling them evil and products of sin. This shocked many fans who had once seen him as a loving father figure in his song. This wasn't the first time he faced criticism for how he treated his children. Fans who once sang along to Back at One were now left wondering what had happened behind the scenes all those years ago. R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a famous American singer, songwriter, and producer. At one point, he was one of the biggest names in music, earning titles like the King of R&B and the Pied Piper of R&B. His voice and songwriting shaped much of the 90s and early 2000s R&B, and his songs like I Believe I Can Fly, Ignition, Remix, and Step in the Name of Love were played everywhere, from weddings to radio shows. He also worked behind the scenes, writing songs for stars like Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, and Justin Bieber. But behind all the success, there were secrets he didn't want the world to know. In 1996, R. Kelly married Andrea Kelly, a professional dancer who once worked as his backup performer. She was just 22 when they tied the knot. Together, they had 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. At first, it seemed like the two had a strong bond. Drea even changed her last name to Kelly. However, in 2005, Drea filed a restraining order against Kelly, saying he had assaulted her after she said she wanted a divorce. That's when the marriage started falling apart. However, instead of making their split public like many celebrity couples do, they chose to keep everything hidden. R. Kelly quietly filed for divorce in 2006. But there were no press releases, no interviews, no big headlines. Everything was done behind closed doors. The divorce wasn't finalized until 2009, and even then, the public barely knew it had happened. Both of them signed a non-disclosure agreement, and Drea reportedly received an undisclosed amount of money for alimony. Almost all the documents were sealed, kept private, away from the press, and out of the public eye. Even years later, when reporters followed R. Kelly for other legal troubles, they couldn't get access to the divorce case. In 2019, when he failed to pay child support, some details finally started to leak out. Anthony Hamilton. Anthony Hamilton is a soul singer known for his rich, heartfelt voice and deep lyrics. His journey to fame wasn't easy. In the mid-90s, he signed a deal with Uptown Records to release his first album, XTC, but things didn't go as planned. The singles didn't chart, and the album was quietly shelved. Still, Anthony didn't give up. In 2002, he caught the public's attention with a powerful feature on Nappy Roots' song Po Folks. That one moment opened doors, and soon he signed with Jermaine Dupri's label, So Def. His 2003 album, Comin' From Where I'm From, was a game changer. It went platinum and earned him 4 Grammy nominations. One of the biggest songs from the album, Charlene, became a fan favorite and climbed high on the charts. He followed it up with 2 more successful albums, Ain't Nobody Worryin' and The Point of It All. Anthony had finally carved out his place in R&B with a voice that felt raw and real. Behind the scenes, Anthony was also building a life with someone special, his wife, Tarsha, who is also a singer. The couple shared their lives both personally and professionally, even raising 3 children together. For 10 years, they seemed like a tight-knit, loving family. But then, something changed. In 2015, without any loud announcements or drama, Anthony and Tarsha quietly revealed that their marriage had ended. They shared a calm and polished statement with the public, saying they were focused on co-parenting their children and would remain friends. Anthony himself gave a short comment, calling it a difficult decision, and made it clear that this would be the only thing said about it. They didn't want the world digging into what went wrong. Kelly Price. Kelly Price is a powerful voice in R&B and gospel music. Her journey started in 1992 when she began singing backup for Mariah Carey. You might not have known it, but you've heard her voice on classics like All I Want for Christmas Is You and Fantasy. For years, she worked quietly in the background until 1997, when her uncredited vocals on hits like Mo Money Mo Problems by the Notorious B.I.G. and Feel So Good by Mace. Soon after, Kelly stepped into the spotlight with her debut album Soul of a Woman in 1998. The album went platinum, and the hit Single Friend of Mine, featuring R. Kelly and Ronald Isley, became a chart success. She followed it up with more strong albums like Mirror Mirror and Priceless, both of which earned spots in the top 10 of the Billboard charts. Her talent also brought her into the company of legends. She sang alongside Faith Evans and Whitney Houston on the emotional 1998 hit Heartbreak Hotel. But while her music career was rising, Kelly had another story happening off stage. She had been with her husband, Jeff Roll, since they were both just 19 years old. They built a life together, had 2 kids, Jeff Jr. and Jonia. Jeff wasn't just her husband. He was also her longtime manager, always close by her side, both personally and professionally. So when news quietly broke that Kelly and Jeff were splitting up, it surprised almost everyone. Kelly shared a short statement, vague and careful with its words. She didn't explain what really happened. She just said the loss of her sister had made her reflect on her life. It was time, she said, to choose happiness. That was all she gave. She made it clear she still cared about Jeff, even saying, "I'll love him until the day I die." But behind those kind words, there was something being tucked away, and the reasons behind the divorce stayed hidden. They even ended their professional relationship quietly. If you are enjoying this video, appreciate it by giving it a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Keshia Cole. Keshia Cole got her start singing background vocals for MC Hammer before the world even knew her name. But it didn't take long for her to step into the spotlight. Her debut album, The Way It Is, came out in 2005, and with the hit Single Love, she grabbed everyone's attention. The album went platinum, and Keshia's raw, emotional style earned her the nickname Princess of Hip Hop Soul. She sang about real-life pain, family struggles, and the kind of love that hurts. In 2006, she brought fans even closer with her BT reality show, Keshia Cole, The Way It Is. The cameras followed her through her music journey, but also through her complicated family life. The show ran for 3 seasons and became one of the network's biggest hits. In 2009, Keshia started dating Daniel, a professional basketball player. The two seemed to fall fast. By early 2010, she was pregnant, and they were engaged. That March, they welcomed their son, Daniel Jr. A year later, they were married in Las Vegas, and a few months after that, they renewed their vows in Hawaii. Everything was beautiful and public. Their love, their family, even their wedding, which aired on their own reality show, Keshia and Daniel. Family first. But not everything that looks perfect on TV stays perfect in real life. In 2014, Keshia quietly admitted that they had separated. There had been rumors about Daniel cheating with a stripper, no less. She didn't want to talk too much about it back then. Even after the separation, she tried to make it work. she stayed silent and tried to keep it together for their son. She said, "That was a lot of the reason why I didn't get a divorce through all the cheating, because it was like, I just want to do it for my kid." It wasn't until 2017 that she confirmed they had finally filed for divorce. Ginuwine. Ginuwine is a well-known American R&B singer whose smooth voice and heartfelt songs made him a major star in the late 1990s and early 2000s. His journey began in the early 90s as part of a music group called Swing Mob. In 1996, he signed with Epic Records and released his first single, Pony. The song quickly became a hit, reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. That same year, he released his debut album, Ginuwine, The Bachelor, which was a big success and later certified double platinum. He kept the momentum going with 2 more albums, 100% Ginuwine in 1999 and The Life in 2001. One of his biggest songs, Differences, came from The Life and reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming his highest charting single ever. Over the next few years, Ginuwine kept making music. Albums like The Senior and Back to Dia Basics did well, and hits like In Those Jeans reminded fans why they loved his style. By 2013, he had sold nearly 7 million albums in the U.S. alone. While Ginuwine's career was busy and public, his personal life was more quiet until people started asking questions. He met rapper Soleil in 1999. The two began dating not long after and got married in a private ceremony in the Cayman Islands in 2003. They lived together in Maryland and had 2 daughters, Story and Dream. To the outside world, they looked like a strong couple, building a life together in and out of the spotlight. But behind the scenes, things weren't quite as perfect as they seemed. At some point, people started whispering that the couple had split. There were no public announcements, no interviews, no press releases. Some gossip sites started calling it a quiet divorce, saying the two had parted ways without telling anyone. Eventually, the rumors grew so loud that Ginuwine had to say something. He posted a message on Instagram saying, "We are not yet divorced, but we are currently separated and working towards coming to our own agreement, without lawyers, to amicably and fairly divorce." He also made it clear that the stories about Soleil leaving him broke were false. The real reason for their separation, he said, was his own poor choices and actions over many years. Toni Braxton. Toni Braxton is a renowned American singer, songwriter, actress, and television personality. She first gained attention in the late 1980s when she performed with her sisters in the R&B group called the Braxtons. The group was signed to Arista Records, but it wasn't until Toni Braxton signed with LaFace Records that her career really took off. In 1993, she released her self-titled debut album, Toni Braxton, which became a major success. The album reached number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart, sold over 10 million copies worldwide, and featured hit singles like Another Sad Love Song and Breathe Again. The success of this album earned Braxton 3 Grammy Awards, including Best New Artist. Her next albums, Secrets and The Heat, only continued to solidify her place as one of the top artists in the industry. Secrets produced some of her most iconic hits, like You're Making Me High, Let It Flow, and Unbreak My Heart, which became a massive international success. Throughout her career, Braxton released several more albums despite facing contractual challenges and health issues. With over 70 million records sold worldwide, she became one of the best-selling female artists of all time. Along with her successful music career, Braxton has received numerous accolades, including 7 Grammy Awards, 9 Billboard Music Awards, and 7 American Music Awards. In 2016, Braxton began dating rapper Birdman. The couple made headlines when they announced their engagement in February 2018. However, in January 2019, they called off the engagement, only to confirm later that they were still together. After some ups and downs, the couple broke up in 2019, but in November of that same year, Braxton posted about them dating once more. On August 8, 2024, the couple surprised many by getting married. However, just days after their wedding, something unexpected happened. Toni Braxton filed for divorce 2 weeks later, listing their separation date as August 10th, only 2 days after their wedding. In her petition, she referred to their marriage as irretrievably broken. Yet, months later, there was a shift in Braxton's decision. In January 2025, she decided to dismiss the divorce petition, having a change of heart. As of today, Toni Braxton and Birdman remain married. Jhené Aiko. Jhené Aiko is an American R&B singer and rapper who started her musical career in 2002. At that time, she worked as a backing vocalist and appeared in music videos for the R&B group B2K. She signed with their record label, The Ultimate Group, and was introduced to the public as the cousin of B2K member Lil Fizz to help her build her own fan base. Aiko's debut album, which was supposed to be released in 2003, never saw the light of day because she decided to focus on her education instead. In 2011, Aiko returned to music with a mixtape titled Sailing Soul. Her career took off after she signed a record deal with producer No ID's RTM Recordings, which was under the larger Def Jam Recordings. Her big breakthrough came when she collaborated with Lil Wayne on Big Sean's 2013 single Beware, which became her first top 40 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. In March 2016, Jhené Aiko married music producer Dot Da Genius, but the news of their marriage was kept under wraps until Aiko filed for divorce in August 2016. She cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. At the time, rumors had already begun swirling about trouble in the couple's relationship, especially after Aiko was seen kissing Big Sean on stage during a Power 106 concert. The timing of the kiss only fueled speculation about what was really happening behind the scenes. The divorce took a messy turn as many fans quickly assumed that Aiko had cheated on Dot, while others believed there was some form of abuse involved. Aiko denied the cheating allegations, taking to Twitter to clear the air. She wrote, "Never let a man disrespect you in any way. I only cheated myself. So glad to be free from all the drugs, depression, and confrontation." Dot Da Genius also defended himself, denying any accusations of abuse. On Instagram, he addressed the rumors, saying, "In light of public threats, false allegations, and attempts to slander my name and character, I am compelled to speak up." He ended his statement by focusing on his personal life and career, hinting that the full truth would eventually come to light. Though the couple's marriage ended in controversy, both Aiko and Dot distanced themselves from the situation, leaving many unanswered questions about what truly happened behind the scene. Ne-Yo. Ne-Yo is an American singer and songwriter, widely recognized as one of the top figures in R&B music during the 2000s. He gained attention not only for his singing, but also for his exceptional songwriting skills. His big break came in 2004 when Mario's hit single, Let Me Love You, which Ne-Yo wrote, became a massive success. This led to a meeting with Jay-Z and a contract that would define Ne-Yo's career. He released 4 successful studio albums under Def Jam, along with many hit songs that earned him numerous accolades, including 3 Grammy Awards. Ne-Yo's journey as an artist started with his debut single, Stay, which featured Petey Petey. While the song didn't get much attention, his follow-up, So Sick, became a huge success, hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. This song, along with others like When You're Mad and Sexy Love, helped Ne-Yo's debut album, In My Own Words, top the Billboard 200. The album received critical praise, a Grammy nomination, and was certified platinum in multiple countries. In September 2015, Ne-Yo announced that he was engaged to Crystal Renee Williams, and the two were expecting a child. They married on February 20th, 2016, and welcomed their first son in March of that year. A second son followed in June 2018. However, in February 2020, Ne-Yo shared the news that he and Crystal were planning to end their marriage. But then he withdrew his divorce petition shortly after. They decided to work on their relationship and reconciled during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ne-Yo later explained in an interview that the quarantine helped them reflect and reevaluate their relationship, which had been facing challenges. In June 2021, Ne-Yo and Crystal welcomed their third child, a daughter. The couple seemed to be in a better place, and in April 2022, they renewed their vows in a romantic ceremony in Las Vegas. But just a few months later, something unexpected happened. In August 2022, Crystal filed for divorce. She alleged that Ne-Yo had fathered a child with another woman during their marriage. The news shocked many, as they had just reaffirmed their commitment to each other. By January 2023, Ne-Yo and Crystal finalized their divorce. In a 2024 interview, Crystal described their marriage as horrible, but said she had no regrets about the experience. Keke Wyatt. Keke Wyatt is an American singer, songwriter, and TV personality. She first became known in 2000 after her collaboration with R&B singer Avant. Their duet caught the attention of many, leading to Keke being nominated for the Best New R&B Soul Rap Artist Award at the Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards in 2001 for her rendition of Nothing in This World. Over the years, she had many successful collaborations and solo projects, releasing several albums that earned spots on the Billboard charts. In 2012, she became a member of the reality TV show R&B Divas Atlanta, which showcased the lives of former 1990s R&B stars. Keke appeared in all 3 seasons of the show, which helped her gain even more popularity. She has released studio albums, including Soul Sista, Who Knew, Unbelievable, and Rated Love. Keke married Michael Jamar Ford in 2010, who was an ordained minister and later appeared with her on R&B Divas. By 2013, the couple was raising 6 children together, 3 from Keke's first marriage, 1 from Michael's previous relationship, and 2 sons they had together. In 2015, they welcomed a daughter, Keyoshi Bella Ford. Keke announced in April 2017 that she was pregnant with their 8th child. However, things took an unexpected turn. In September 2017, rumors began to circulate that the couple was divorcing. This news came as a shock to many, especially since Keke was 8 months pregnant at the time. She gave birth to their 8th child, a son named Kendall Miguel Ford, in October 2017. But despite the birth of their child, the tension between them was clear. The couple had kept their issues private for some time, but in August 2018, Michael confirmed that their divorce was official. Monica. Monica is an American singer, rapper, songwriter, and actress. She grew up in College Park, Georgia, and began performing at a young age. By the time she was 10, she was already part of a traveling gospel choir. Monica's big break came in 1993 when she signed with record producer Dallas Austin and his label Rowdy Records. In 1995, she released her debut album, Miss Thang, which helped her gain popularity. Her next album, The Boy Is Mine, became her most successful album, featuring hits like The Boy Is Mine with Brandy, The First Night, and Angel of Mine. Monica continued to build her career, moving from Rowdy Records to Clive Davis's J Records in 2000. After a less successful third album, All Eyes on Me, she bounced back with After the Storm, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. The album's lead single, So Gone, became a major hit, and Monica's career was back on track. Her next albums, The Makings of Me and Still Standing, were also successful, with Still Standing earning 2 Grammy nominations. Monica's personal life took a turn in 2010 when she met NBA player Shannon Brown while making a music video for her song Love All Over Me. The two quickly grew close, and by October 2010, Monica announced their engagement on Twitter with a photo of her beautiful rose-cut diamond ring. The couple seemed happy, and in 2010, Monica and Shannon got married. For a while, everything appeared perfect, but not everything was as smooth as it seemed. In a surprising twist, after a period of time, Monica and Shannon's marriage began facing challenges. But the details about their issues weren't openly shared. They tried to keep the reasons for their split quiet, leaving many wondering what really happened behind closed doors. It wasn't long before they separated, with little public discussion about why the marriage ended. Bobby Womack. Bobby Womack was an American singer-songwriter and guitarist. His career began in the early 1950s when he was the lead singer of his family's group, the Valentinos. He also played as Sam Cooke's backing guitarist, which helped launch his long career. Over the next 60 years, Womack became known for his work in many different music styles, including R&B, blues, gospel, funk, and soul. Womack wrote many songs, including It's All Over Now, which he recorded with his brothers. Later, this song became a big hit for the Rolling Stones. He also wrote I Can Understand It for New Birth. As a singer, Womack was best known for hits like Lookin' for a Love, That's the Way I Feel About Cha, Woman's Gotta Have It, and Across 110th Street. In the 1980s, he had more hits with If You Think You're Lonely Now and I Wish He Didn't Trust Me So Much. In February 1965, just a few months after Sam Cooke passed away, 20-year-old Bobby Womack shocked the world when he tried to marry Cooke's widow, Barbara, who was 10 years older than him. The couple went to the Los Angeles County Courthouse, but their application was denied because Womack was under 21 and didn't have his parents' permission to marry. They tried again in March, and this time they were successful. They married the day after Womack turned 21. Their marriage caused a huge scandal in the music world. People in the soul music industry turned against Womack, and even his own brothers were angry with him. Things got so bad that Cooke's brothers attacked Womack, breaking his jaw. Later, Womack explained that he had gone to comfort Barbara after Cooke's death because he feared she might do something drastic if she was left alone. In 1970, things took a turn for the worse. Barbara found out that Womack had been having an affair with her 17-year-old daughter, Linda Cooke. This caused a huge fight between them, and during the argument, Barbara fired a gun at Womack. The bullet grazed his head, and soon after, they separated. In 1971, their divorce was finalized. After the divorce, Linda, who had once been close to her mother, never spoke to Barbara again. But even though the divorce and scandal were so public, the details about why they really ended things were kept quiet. Womack, his family, and Barbara all kept a lot of things hidden. No one openly discussed the full story, and it seemed like they all tried to cover up the real reasons behind the messy end of their marriage until years later. Which of these divorces are you most surprised about? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content.